Welcome back to another bag review by Dave Sam. Today we are taking a look at a new take on an old backpack, the Wandrd PVKE Lite. This is a special bag in the PVKE lineup in that it has a few key features and a couple that are missing from the other PVKE bags. Let's jump right in. My name is Dave Sam and I review bags of various kinds. If you're new here, thanks for joining the channel. If you're coming back, thank you for your support, it's much appreciated. If you're not familiar with Wandrd, I highly recommend going to their website, checking out the things that they have available. They have a myriad of bags, accessories, and all of the items that they offer really prioritize camera carry, or if you're stretching, tech gear carry. Everything that Wandrd makes that I've had a chance to try has been pretty much a joy to use, from the original PVKE 31 liter to the D1 fanny pack and now onto the PVKE Lite. Last thing before we get started, and I always forget to do this in my videos, Wandrd has not paid me or sent me this bag. These reviews are my own and my own opinions. We always start with the outside of the bag on a Dave Sam review, and continuing my trend, this is a non-black bag. I know, it's horrifying. Damn, at least this bag is still fire looking. It comes in this Wasatch green, which I actually really like. My other Wandrd bag is in that Gobi tan. It comes in a Aegean blue, and then as well as a pure all black everything. Made out of this really, I don't know, rubbery feeling kind of tarpaulin material, which is nice. The top is nylon. Most of the rest of the bag is nylon or mesh. But this portion in particular, this colored portion, so the green areas that I'm pointing at here are this tarpaulin material. Now the PVKE has featured this fairly unique silhouette since the version 1. The V2 is no different. I think they are all this kind of boxy look overall. I think the bigger you go, so this one's an 11 liter, you go up to the 21, the 31, and now the 41, they just tend to look even boxier. They all feature or have this roll top as kind of the main design feature that you kind of see when you see the bag. It features YKK zippers and zip pulls around the bag for all of the zippers. At the top of the bag, you'll notice this awesome magnetic grab handle or set of grab handles, which are just a joy to use. They always stay upright like this, which is one of my favorite things in a grab handle. When you pull them apart, they fall over, so you can just use the features of the bag that you need to use. And then of course they attach magnetically, which is just so much fun to use. They're also pretty comfortable overall. Carrying the bag like this for an extended period of time isn't that big of a deal overall. These are padded and pretty nice to hold. The PVKE is also sporting a brand new harness system, from the back paneling to the actual harness that you put over your shoulders. This back paneling is this nice, really thick foam. Oh, it's honestly great. It feels great on your back. It has these two huge back panel channels. So I didn't find myself sweating too much. I haven't really worn it out in the deep of summer yet, but I have traveled with it a couple times. I've had to keep it on my back for over an hour at a time. I didn't find myself sweating too much. So really good job over here. Really soft, really comfortable. I like these shoulder straps. There's nothing wrong with them overall. I do wish they had maybe used, I don't know if you can see because they're black here, but I do wish they had used maybe one of the EVF kind of seamless straps or something like that. We see a lot of those on bags now. They're a little bit more comfortable, but overall was not that big of a deal. But it does have this new and improved sternum strap, which I really like. I found it super easy to use. You can use it from either side really easily if you're right or left-handed, and it just clips in really nicely and then pulls apart using the pull tab here. So I didn't find it coming off without me actually pulling it, which in my opinion is great. It's a really simple and elegant implementation of a sternum strap. I really liked using it. All right, and then last thing on the back paneling here, there is a little strap. I don't know if you can See that there? There is a little strap as a luggage pass-through. I found it to be pretty tight, especially with the bag packed out. So I didn't use it too much. I ended up just sitting my luggage right on top, or sitting this right on top of my luggage and kind of leaving it like that, or holding it from the handles while I was rolling around. On the side of the bag, that would be where your right hand is where the water bottle sits, and it has this collapsible water bottle pocket, which is the same as they used in the version 1, which I really, really like. It reveals this stretch mesh that makes this an expandable water bottle pocket, which is really, really nice overall. I was able to fit my 20-ounce LL Bean water bottle in here pretty easily, and then it sits pretty deep, which is nice. So overall, great water bottle compartment. Along the front, bottom, and yeah, just the front and bottom, there are these nylon loops for their strap accessory. So you can strap those across the front, diagonally forward, or strap them on the bottom here. So if you want to carry a yoga mat or something like that, you can put it on the bottom tripod really, really easily. There's one other way that you can use those straps on the interior, which I will show you in just a second. It's a little more unique. It's an old feature that they don't really talk about anymore, but I think is still pretty interesting. All right, let's move on to the inside of the bag. We'll start with the very front with this long YKK zipper that goes across the entire front of the bag. Really interesting concept, if you will, to have a pocket like this, but I did find that when you filled the bag up, it was kind of hard to use this pocket. It's filled right now. I can get my hand in here. You might be able to pretty easily fit like a notebook, magazines, maybe like a tablet if you've got a smaller tablet. Might be nice to fit in here. I would have loved to have seen some improvement to this pocket, something like maybe a couple of mesh compartments, especially closer to the top. There is a little more wiggle room at the top here. So it would have been nice to see some implementation there, just of something to give it a little more organization. On this one in particular, they also removed the side access pocket that had the key lash. So maybe even adding a key lash here would have been nice just to have it in the bag, but something that makes this at least a little more usable top to bottom. Of course, anything you put in here is going to fall directly to the bottom. So a magazine, notebook, no big deal. If you could still utilize some of this top area with those mesh pockets or even a small zippered compartment, I think that would be really, really nice. All right, now moving to the roll top compartment. I know a lot of people hate on the roll top generally, but in all honesty, it's one of my favorite compartments. Love this buckle here. This is a smaller buckle than they use on the 3 other PVKE bags, which is in line with general aesthetic for this bag. So it doesn't need that giant buckle. Really like this one. Overall, just like all the other ones, if you have seen or used them, uses a series of Velcro to tie the bag down. Again, I would have loved to have seen a little bit of improvement here, maybe some magnets instead of Velcro, make it a little bit quieter. I can see why maybe they didn't though. It would make this compartment or this area a bit heavier. So in the fact that, you know, you want to keep it light, you want to keep it really easy to use, maybe you wouldn't want to use magnets, but overall, this is a great compartment. It takes the 11-liter capacity of the bag and expands it all the way up to 15 liters. And then you can kind of just close it off here on the first rung and keep it cinched down. So may not be quite as waterproof when you get it up this high, but overall still really, really quality, really easy to use, and great expandability. I was able to fit my Away sleep mask, which is great. I'll talk about it in some other video. My immediate cables kit. I've got another kit with some of my laptop accessories deeper in the bag, headphones with the case, and then single Gorilla Pod. So pretty small tripod just to fit right in the top of the bag here. But that's all I put in here. When I was traveling, I put food in here. I put other snacks, other knickknacks. I dropped my phone in here a couple of times. All of that ended up really not even taking the full 15 liters. I was often only one roll up. So somehow this bag fits so much stuff, which is one of my favorite things about the bag. All right, moving on to the next pocket, there is a quick access pocket here that sits between the roll top and the main access of the bag. When we dive into this, and again, they're all protected by YKK AquaGuard zippers. This one also has this really nice like felt lining, or I don't know, wool. It's something really soft. I think it's meant for phones, sunglasses, other things that have screens or glass that you don't want to get scratched. I am using this as completely as quick access. So got my wallet, my microfiber cloth, and my straw. This is another place where maybe they could have reintegrated or put in the key lash, which I would have also really liked. Again, I just love having a key lash so I can keep some things on just a lash that I can just pull out immediately, like the straw or like my keys. This quick access pocket is a little bit of a double-edged sword, and we'll see how that it comes into play when we get into the main access. I really like using it as quick access for sure. But because of the way it's integrated into the bag, which is also an update, which overall is great, there is a little bit of cumbersome use when you get deeper into the bag. Now moving on to the main access, or the main compartment, has two zippers with these nice zipper pulls. They're a little bit different than the zipper pulls on the rest of the bag. They're meant for you to put your fingers in, not just grab on. And it zips all the way around and down, and is meant for you to have this kind of clamshell access to your bag. On the opposite side of the harness system, so basically up against your back, there is the much improved laptop compartment as well as knick-knack pockets. It has a simple stretch mesh Velcro closure so that when you're opening this up, or when you're leaving it closed, going through TSA, you can pretty simply slam it open, pull it open, and not have to worry about your laptop or your tablet falling out. On the inside of the laptop compartment, I've just got my iPad in here. On the inside of the laptop compartment, it is really nice, thick material. It is suspended off the bottom, so you don't have to worry too much about dropping your bag or putting your bag down a little bit too hard. Overall, really nice compartment to use. I was able to fit both my 13-inch laptop and my iPad in this compartment with the rest of it filled out. So even though there isn't an independent tablet sleeve, which I would have loved to have seen, didn't find it to be that big of a deal in practice. Overall, it was pretty easy to fit both in there. Right in front of that, you have 3 new pockets, which you didn't have anything on the previous Provoke. So this is really nice. 2 mirrored pockets, each of them having a little bit of dimension in the bottom, which you'll start to see. You can start to see this one is being used, which you can use for all of your kind of camera knickknacks. So I've got a couple of quick carry items, flashlight, tool set, extra battery, extra SD card along the top. And then for this middle compartment, I've got just an extra day battery or an extra battery pack. Now, one other thing that you'll notice is that there is a little bit more space here on the bottom that just isn't being utilized. I don't know why it's not being utilized. I would have loved, especially given that this is a camera carry first bag, and you'll see exactly what I mean by that when we look at the real main compartment here. I would have loved to have seen some, like, I don't know, mesh or elastic compartments here, or just places that I could put maybe SD cards, batteries, things like that. I think it would have integrated really, really nicely in this open space here. Now, if anybody knows why this space is open, and you can tell me, you know, maybe I'm just wrong and they needed this space to be open. So I'm accepting that. High five, Wandrd. Now on to the actual main access compartment. And this is what I mean when I say this is a camera first backpack. It is an integrated camera cube. This camera cube here is built into the bag. It's got all the padding along the sides, and these are all Velcro, not seamed in, but they're all Velcroed in, and you can change this configuration, but it comes with this camera cube integrated. When you look at the Provoke 21, 31, or 41, there is a camera cube insert that you can purchase and put inside. Integrates pretty seamlessly and really nicely, but overall you can just remove that, use it as a huge a huge bag. The 41 in particular is, I think, a great travel size bag, especially without the camera cube inside. You can just probably fit so much in there. One of the unique features about the PVKE Lite is that it has the same color camera cube as the outside. So the white is white, the green is green, the black is black. On all the other sizes, the camera cube insert is just a black insert. So it doesn't matter what the outside color is, it's always going to be a black insert. And honestly, the rest of it is also going to be black. So it's not just the insert, it's all of the accent colors on the inside. You've got a spot for your camera, and there is a quick access compartment on the outside, so you can really easily get to where your camera is actually sitting. Another thing that they changed that I would have loved for them to have kept is they used to, or on the bigger sizes actually, they have a zippered compartment here that does have room for extra batteries, SD cards, other things. Again, would have loved to have just kept that on this bag for a camera forward or camera first backpack. It just seems weird to not have any places that are designated for SD cards and batteries. Back to the inside. Camera, have all my sound equipment in one section, have my extra laptop gear in this other Moment pouch, have a lens filter, and then my Peak Designs trusty strap. And down here, I'm using the lights right now, but I had a couple of lights and a top handle that I am also using right now. So fits just a ton of stuff in this camera cube area, which I really, really enjoyed using, bringing with me places. It felt like I always had all the gear that I needed, and in a really, really minimal pack, which is awesome. I mentioned the quick access compartment. We had talked about it. I said that there's a bit of cumbersome use to it, and that's partially because of the way that it's been integrated now. It's integrated into this panel here. So there's these two zippers. There's these two loops that you're meant to grab and kind of rip open. If this is empty, you're able to do that. When it's packed out even a little bit, it becomes really hard to do that kind of rip it motion. So that's what I'm talking about, where it's a little bit cumbersome. But overall, I would take this integration over the old one, which was, this was just kind of a mesh lining that you could unzip, and then the quick access compartment had its own pocket that kind of fell right in front here, so made it even more cumbersome to use. This integration I would take over that one every day of the week. This is awesome, but gives you direct access to that roll top compartment at the end of the day, so you can still see Moment pack, GorillaPod, Sony headphones. Nothing really has changed here, but just nice integration, easy way to get into both parts of the bag. I mentioned a really interesting way to use the accessory straps, which I have already attached here. There's a couple of nylon loops at the top here and at the sides of the inside of the bag. And it's meant for photographers, videographers who are on the go to be able to carry like this, which I think is just a rad feature. Now, I probably am not going to do this because I don't need this type of quick run and gun access, if you will. But as you can see, really, really easy to be able to see all your stuff, get into your gear, and overall use the bag without putting it down. So really interesting implementation and use for the straps, something that you don't see that often. And in all honesty, I don't see them advertised that much, so really, really cool feature, I think. All right, so really quickly want to recap some of the differences between the Lite and the other versions. Above the water bottle compartment, there is no accessory strap, so nothing that you can strap in, something that's going to sit a little bit taller. On the other side of the bag, there's no quick access compartment for keys, basically a key compartment. Behind the bag, and on the other ones, it's behind the luggage pass-through is a secret access compartment. Doesn't have that secret access compartment. And then on the bottom, there is, on the bigger ones, a zipper here that holds the rainfly. If you do get the rainfly, there is no rainfly, and there is no zippered compartment here. Where does the rubber meet the road? For $219, I think that the Wandrd PVKE Lite is a fantastic camera cube slash backpack that is really gonna meet a lot of people's needs. And it holds so much for an 11-liter bag that, again, transitions to a 15-liter bag, but it feels like it's much bigger. If you're a professional and a minimalist, or you're an amateur and you just don't have that much gear, you wanna go for an overnight trip with your gear, with some snacks, maybe some other items or some knickknacks, I would definitely recommend at least looking at the PVKE Lite. It, again, holds so much more than you think at 11 liters. The one thing I will say though is, for those professionals, those amateurs, anybody who does want to get this to go with a minimal setup, you do really need to know your gear. You need to know what you're going to be shooting, what you're going to be bringing with you, and how you're going to be using it. There isn't a lot of room for frills here, so what you take is going to take up a little bit of space, and it's all you're going to have when you're out there. So really got to know your gear if you're investing in something that is more of a minimalist carry. If you need space for more technology, if you're looking for like a long weekend kind of bag, or if this aesthetic just isn't something you're into overall, I would maybe recommend looking somewhere else, potentially one of the bigger PVKE bags. I will say, in my experience, the 31-liter is nice, is big, but didn't actually fit that much more camera gear overall. So even though the size is bigger, something about it just doesn't necessarily carry that much more. Now in the roll top, it feels like there's a ton more space. But in the actual camera cube area, I would say limited differences at best. Thanks for watching another bag review by Dave Sam. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the PVKE Lite or the other PVKE backpacks. While you're down there, don't forget to drop a subscribe, drop a like, get notified. Helps the channel tremendously, and I would greatly appreciate it. This was a fun new specialty bag to try out, and I've got a couple of other niche backpacks that I am looking to try over the next few weeks that I'm super excited about. So hopefully I'll be posting once a week, or pretty close to once a week. It's so hard to be diligent, but I will do my best, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.